Good day everyone. Today we will discuss the symmetry art Okir Ukill. Our objectives today is to describe the meaning of Okir Ukill art, to know the history of Okir Ukill, to discuss a symmetry art inspired by Okir or Ukill, and lastly to know the concept of Okir in relation to Islamic art. Okir. Okir, also spelled as Ukill or Ukill, O or U at the first letter of the word. Okir is a design or pattern often rendered or curved in hardwood, brass, silver, and wall painting in curvilinear lines and Arabic geometric figures. You can see a picture at the end of my topic discussed by my groupmates that every artifact of Maranao was made as an ornament, a device or a decoration that is designed with authentic Okir, revealing that the Maranaos have a distinct and original culture and civilization with no signs being imitated from other culture. Other term of Okir is used to refer to a whole repertoire of art motifs consisting mainly of plant forms that figure prominently in the art of Lanao and Sulu. We can say that this is the design serve as significant cultural symbols, or we can say that this is the term for geometric and flowing designs often based on an elaborate leaf and vine pattern, and folk motifs that can be usually found in Maranao and Muslim influenced artworks, especially in the southern Philippines and in some part of Southeast Asia. And now, we will tackle the history of Okir. The origins of Okir are pre-Islamic. They are believed to have originated from the much earlier Ukkil or Ukill, decorative carving traditions of the Sama people, which are often highly individualistic and rectilinear. The Sama are master carvers, and they made lavish decorations on ritual animistic objects, grave markers, both wood and stone, and their houseboats. These precursor forms of the Okir designs can still be found in the art traditions of the Maranao in the Basak or lowland regions of Lake Lanao, and they contrast markedly from the later flowing Okir designs. The Okir motif. The Okir motif is an art depicting the indigenous originality and skill of the Maranaos. If we see motif, it is something such as an important idea or subject, or repeated design or pattern. It is a fine art of figuring, painting, carving, and sculpturing, depicting the social and psychological identity of the Maranao society. Okir design. The Okir design is a rectilinear and curvilinear plant-based designs and folk motifs that can be usually found among the Moro and Lumad peoples of the southern Philippines as well as part of Sabah. You can see a picture at the end of my topic that the design is found woven or painted in textiles. Sometimes it is carved into wooden cemetery markers and wooden boxes, and it can also be found etched into knife or sword blades and handles, and cast or etched into various brass and similar objects. Elements of Okir. This is the most common individual elements of Okir. For male or Okir adato, we have here the pal or raon, means a leaf. Dianawi, means a pattern resembling a nawi, or a bladed carpenter's tool. Gaglat, means a pattern resembling a glat, or a small kitchen knife. Kianuku, means fingernail, key, or like patterns. Matilak, means a circle. Naga, means a sea serpent in the shape of an S. Unga, means a fruit. Paku, a fern frond or a spiral. Pakulawi, means a fern frond resembling a rooster feather. Pakulungat, means a fern frond with a cut at one edge. Pakunay, means a fern frond with two or more cuts on one edge. Yuwas, means betel nut seed. Putyuk, means a bud. Tudi, means a flower. And this is for female, or Okir abay. We have here ulan, means a circle or moon. Biangon, means a rectangle. Yalang, means a square. Katimbuang, means diamond. Onsud, means zigzag. Those elements can be put together to create motifs. Some examples include, for male, we have armalis, a combination of a fern leaf and bud. Birdo, a motif of combined complex designs propagating horizontally vertically and diagonally. Maguyuda, a motif of simple elements repeating horizontally. Niaga, a motif which features the naga along with 2D designs of leaves, vines, and flowers. Ubid-ubid or tiali-tali, rope-like designs that are usually used for borders. Pako-rabong, a motif of a fern growing vertically with a central point from which the designs radiates outwards. And for female, we have binutuon, which is the star patterns. Pinag-apat, a four-sided designs in a series. Pinatula, a patterns of a square of different colors. Saragunting, which is a cross. Complete designs using these motifs are usually given poetic names like Sapak Mandading, a branch of happiness, Raon Akayo, which is three leaves, or Tring Indawa, or a yellow bamboo.
I will be presenting to you the few examples of Okir arts by Maranaos. So the first picture is the Saturan. So it is a Maranao adaptation of chess. This so-called Saturan is a wooden set of handcrafted pieces of wood, silver, and coins. So during the leisure time or free time of the Sultan or Datu, they play this Saturan with other members of the family inside the Turugan. Turugan is a traditional Maranao house. So the Malay names of the pieces were retained, such as Datu for king, Menteri for bishop, and Tir for tower. So the next picture is Kulintang. Kulintang music is considered an ancient tradition that predates the influence of Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and the West. In the Philippines, it represents the highest form of gong music attained by Filipinos and in North Maluku, and it's said to have existed for centuries. So it is the main melody instrument and is played by striking the bosses of the gongs with two wooden beaters. So kulintang is a modern term for an ancient instrumental form of music composed in a row of small, horizontally laid gongs that function melodically. It is usually accompanied by larger suspended gongs and drums. So another example is panolong. Panolong is a house ornament designed by Maranao people. It is a carved beam that protrudes in the front of the house and styled with Okir motif. So you can see this panolong in traditional Maranao houses called turugan. So this is an example of a kawayan turugan, a traditional Maranao house built by Sultan sa Kawayan, Macantal, in Bubong Malanding, Maranao, Lanao del Sur. It is the last standing example of the house of the elite members of the Maranao tribe and the only remaining habitable Turugan. So last 2008, it was declared as a national cultural treasure by National Museum in the Philippines. So you can see at the front of the house or at the sides, you can see the panolong, the house ornament that was designed by the Maranao people. So this is an example of Islamic art. Islamic art in the Philippines is found predominantly in Muslim ethnic groups where every group offers their own distinct flavor of Islamic art. Islamic art is commonly seen in homes, like architectural design of Muslim houses and its geometric design. Second is in their clothing, its artistic pattern, flowers, and such like malong. Third is in places of worship of Filipino Muslims, the mosque. Paintings are in here, sculptures, and the Okir, which is the only reminder of Filipino Muslim in the mosque. Islamic art places emphasis on creating an art form that is built on beauty and respect for the teaching of Islam. Islamic art is characterized by design of flower, plant forms, and geometric design. Islamic art used calligraphy, architecture, painting, and clothing.
Now let's tackle the Islamic art examples. We do have three. Now our first example is architecture, which is the Dome of Rock. The Dome of Rock was the oldest surviving Islamic building built during 1023. But before that, the said building was initially completed during 691 up to 692 CE by the order of Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik during the Second Fitna, the site of Second Jewish Temple. Now, the architecture and the mosaic of the building was patterned nearby Byzantine churches and palaces. Its basic structure is octagonal, and this octagonal plan may have been influenced by Byzantine church of the state of Mary, also known as Baptisma in Greek. Its interior decoration was decorated with mosaic and marble, while the exterior was initially decorated by Umayyad scheme, which was marbles and mosaic too. Now let's go to the engineers who were responsible for building the dome. We have two, namely Rahim Haywa, a Muslim theologian, and Yazid ibn Salam, an Arab Muslim of Jerusalem. So that was the original dome. But the original dome collapsed during 1015 and it was rebuilt at 1023. 1022 up to 1023, which was later known as the oldest surviving Islamic building or the oldest extant works of Islamic architecture. Now, Umayyad maybe were responsible for the borrowing of architectural techniques from Byzantines, but it actually changed from time to time. For example, the renovation of the dome by Abbasid Caliph Al-Mamun during 1813 up to 813 up to 833. Another one is the addition of the gold-plated roof during 1959 up to 1961 and also during 1993. Now, let's go to the second example, which is a type of pottery. We do have here a bowl minai where the word minai is also known as enamel in Persian language. Now, the minai ware is a Persian pottery um, developed in Kashan, Iran during the decades of Mongol invasion of Persia in the 1219. The body of the pottery was decorated with several colors, including figures too. The significant first pottery used the overglazed enamels. Yeah, the overglazed enamels. To make it clear, overglaze is a method of decorating pottery, most often porcelain, where the colored decoration is applied on top of the already fixed and glazed surface, then fixed in a second firing at relatively low temperature. The period of Mongol invasion of Syria also introduced, in Persia, also introduced the underglazed decoration to Persian pottery around 1200s. Now, underglaze is also a method of decorating pottery in which decoration is applied at the surface before it is covered with a transparent ceramic glaze. We also have inglaze, which is also a method of decorating pottery where the materials used to allow painted decorations to be applied on the surface of the glaze before the glow firing so that it fuses into the glaze in the course of firing. Um, so overall, there are three methods of decorating. First is the overglaze, where the color decorations are applied at the top of already fixed surface, while the underglaze is a method that the decorations are applied to the surface before it is covered with a transparent ceramic glaze. And lastly, the inglaze, in which the materials used to allow painted decorations to be applied on the surface. The purpose of the techniques was to expand the range of colors available to painters beyond the very limited group that could withstand the temperature required for the main firing of the body and glaze. Um, Most pieces of the wares are dated imprecisely, like for example, um, late 12th or early 13th century. But there are few that were inscribed with dates begin in the 1270s and end in 1219. Now let's go to the our last example, which is in Islamic art too, the Islamic carpets. Now, the Islamic carpets are also known as Oriental rugs. It is a heavy textile that is usually hand woven or hand knotted and serves both artistic and utilitarian objects. Yeah. There are two main parts of the Oriental rugs, which is the foundation and the pile. The foundation is the base of the carpet and it is the part which faces the floors. And this is usually made out of cotton. The other one is the pile, where this side is the one meant to be seen where the different designs and patterns are weaved or knotted. This one is usually made out of wool from ships. So the pile are the part of the rugs that we usually see or that was meant to be seen, while the foundation it was meant to face the floor. Now these carpets are made in royal courts of Islamic world, and this is very important to Islamic art because carpets or oriental rugs are not only for the floor, but it is their ornate works of art that indicates the status of wealth of the rug's owner. So, meaning, the status of a particular family can be determined by just looking at the rugs on the floor. Now, there was this archaeological evidence of carpet weaving from pre-Islamic times. It is said that it is the oldest evidence and was found inside a tomb in the Siberian mountains way back 6th or 5th century BCE.
Good day everyone, I am Aryan and I am here to report what is Okir and its relationship to Islamic art. So, according to my very accurate and reliable source, Okir was known to be a design or pattern associated with curvilinear line and Arabic geometric figures often rendered or curved in hardwood, brass, silver, and wall paintings. And it was also known to be an exclusive artistic cultural heritage of the Maranaos of Lanao in the Philippines. It was been said that Ukir was an art depicting the indigenous originality and the awesome skill of the Maranaos. It was the fine art of figuring, painting, curving, and sculpturing depicting the social and psychological identity of Maranao society. It was discovered that when Maranao made an ornament or device or decoration, it was designed in its very authentic Okir way, revealing Maranao's distinct, unique, and original culture and civilization. And what is Islamic art? So, it was famous and characterized in its very geometrical, floral, and vegetal design. It was often used to symbolize transcendent, indivisible, and infinite nature of art. Islamic art placed emphasis on creating an art form that was built in the beauty and respect for the teachings of Islam. It was used in calligraphy, architecture, painting, clothing, and other forms of fine art. Despite of the inevitable circumstances way back before, like colonization, Islamic art did not hold in flourishing that reflected the amazing ethnic culture and ethnic background of Islam people. So let's move on. What is the relationship of ochre in Islamic art? So, ochre in Islamic art, they both characterize a geometric lines and patterns. They both have curved lines, may it be in wood carving and in any medium. They both present and showcases how awesome their history, culture, and traditions. And what's awesome of these two was that they appear in the local that somehow made the Philippines excellent in this kind of matter. So, that would be all. Thank you, and once again, good day.